everyone, welcome to the January reading wrap up, aka the first wrap up of the year. Yeah, exciting. We're gonna be bebopping around in this video. It is vlog style if you are new to this, and so you'll see different versions of me. But with that being said, I'll see ya for the first book. Hello. I know this is like really fun, you know, you get to see me right before bed, so good night. This book was very, very close to actually being in my December wrap up. Nonetheless, this is the first book I read in January, and the first book that I read this year was Love Interest by Claire Gilmore. Whoa, you scared the out of me. I did not hear you coming down at all, bruh. I just started this. I do this tomorrow. Bye. Hey, sorry. Next day. Basically about these two characters, they work for the same company. It's kind of like similar to like BuzzFeed. Kind of. She tries for his job. She doesn't get it. He obviously ends up getting it. She kind of gives a little bit of resentment because he took the job even though he was well suited for it, whatever. They have a little bit of like a frenemies thing kind of going on until they are kind of thrown into this YouTube video together. They get to know each other. It takes off from there. The first half of this book, I was absolutely eating it up. Like I was like, wow, this is like really good.
She's really good.
I do think once they kind of got together, it definitely slowed down a lot, and also I think it also tried to be more deep than it really was, in my opinion. Like there's things that our main girl is going through that I was just kind of like, I think she felt a little wishy-washy in her feelings. A lot of things the author tried to do to make it feel deeper didn't really hit the mark for me, at least, but it was still really good and I really did enjoy it. I want to read another book by her. I ended up giving it 4 stars. Really good, really liked it. Let's go to the next book. Hello, I finished Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I think this book kind of like really popped off on like Book Talk like forever ago, and I'm really late on the train on finally actually reading this book, but hey, I don't have an excuse actually. We are following our main character Kaya, who is nicknamed as like the Marsh Girl, and nobody really ever goes and like sees her. She's kind of outcasted from society because she's like poor and ragged. We find out that someone has passed away and they think there's foul play involved, and they think that Kaya is the one who did it. We're kind of in 2 timelines, one being the present day when the murder happens and trying to figure out what happened, versus the past of Kaya, her upbringing, kind of how she meets these people along the way. Yeah, this was pretty good. I don't know. I feel like the story as a whole was really, really good and I really enjoyed it. I don't think there was any like standout moments though for me. The ending was really good. It caught me off guard, and I think objectively this book is really well written, but subjectively I enjoyed it, but I don't think anything personally like got me, you know? So I ended up giving it 4 stars. That's another book completed, so I'll see ya for the next book. Hello, I finished The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is about our main character named Clementine. Her aunt has passed away and has left her this apartment. While she's living in this apartment, she notices that this apartment is magical and can slip 7 years in the past or 7 years in the future. This book was so freaking good. It's so I'm gonna love you in every life coded, and it's just so much fun. I love her writing in this one. I've read other books by Ashley Poston, but this one just like itched a part of my brain that I was like, ooh. Like she used the word sassafras. Like, why is that such a good word? Overall, I really enjoyed the way they communicated and talked. I loved their banter together. I thought it was really cute, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Pretty good. Another book down, and I'll see you for the next one. Hello, welcome back. Actually, you've been here the whole time. This is me welcoming myself back. Last night I finished Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Basically what this book is about, it is about our 2 main characters, Shannon and Johnny. Shannon has just transferred over to Tommen College, which she's had a lot of problems with like bullying at her previous one. Johnny is a huge rugby player. How they meet is he accidentally like bonks her in the head with a rugby ball, and he kind of helps her out because he feels bad. With all the circumstances that are happening between these 2 characters, how are they going to end up together? I think this book is so repetitive. Holy shit. She says the same thing over and over. Like, I understand that they love this person, but like I can't love them, but I love them anyways, but I can't love them. That's exactly what this book does the entire time. I don't think this should be YA. Don't know why it's considered YA. Just because they're in high school, I don't think really means that the stuff that is happening in this book is quite a lot. There's a lot of trigger warnings. Please look them up. Even just the language in general is just kind of like not amazing. It was all right. I think it is quite insta-lovey between Shannon and Johnny. I didn't super care about their relationship necessarily. I kind of cared more separately for them as characters, which I guess just kind of proved that I liked them as characters, but I didn't really care if they got together or not. Especially with Shannon, she goes through so much that you just want to hug her and just be like, it's okay girl, you're gonna get through it. I don't know what she put into this book. It is crack though. Every time I picked it up, I read 200 pages and I was like, oh, I can't believe I read 200 pages. And that's when I think you have a good book, because whenever you are constantly keep reading, wanting to figure out what happened without even picking up your phone or not doing anything else. I was so enthralled into this story. So I have to give it a 3.75. So that is what I have so far. So I'll see ya for the next book. Hello, I finished reading The God of the Woods by Liz Moore for a video about this summer camp. One of the campers goes missing and she is the daughter of the founder of this camp. This was pretty good. I did enjoy it. The end mystery was just meh to me. One of the mysteries was pretty good. I was like, oh, kind of slay. I was really into the book though, because you get a lot of different POVs and you're also changing timelines a lot. So there's so many things happening in this book. I feel you're always constantly changing and figuring it out, which I didn't love about it for a while because I was getting confused on who were we with, what time period this was, and all of those things. But for the most part, it didn't super bother me, but I didn't love it. Kind of slow, but also it's supposed to be more suspenseful. It's supposed to give a little bit more eerie feelings, but overall I think I liked it. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. That was another book done, and I will see ya by the next book. Hey, I hope that was a good transition. I'm not using my other tripod. I listened to the audiobook of My Mother's House by Sherry Frankie. If you don't know who this author is, there was a whole last year about the YouTube channel 8 Passengers, which was a family vlogging channel, and the mother and another lady, I'm not gonna get super far into this lore by the way. The mother got sentenced to at least 4 years of prison for child abuse. Her oldest daughter wrote a memoir that I had no idea about, and it was just recently published, and I listened to it. I don't want to say a whole lot about this, only because memoirs feel obviously they're very personal for a reason, because they're memoirs. I always feel weird rating memoirs now because they're so personal and they are so unique. And yes, I could critique the literature of this book in whatever, but I don't rate books really about that. Kind of do, but not really. I'm not going to rate somebody's experience basically. But what I will say, it was a very interesting read. Obviously there's a lot of sad, triggering bits in this, so I would definitely look up some trigger warnings if you are uncomfortable with some of those things. Basically, it was good. I liked it. I'm not gonna rate it, but if I had to rate it, no, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna rate it. That's all I got so far. So we'll see ya on the next one. Hello, hey, what's up? Hold on, let me sit you down. New place unlocked. Also, sorry if the lighting is absolute poop. Did finish 2 books before January ended. One of them was How to End a Love Story by Yulin Kwong. This is a rough book actually. The guy, I explain this? The main girl, her sister, unalives herself, and how she does it is she jumps in front of a car of the main guy love interest, his car, and so he accidentally unalives her. And literally the first chapter, they're at a funeral. She has a lot of resentment towards him. Moving past that, she becomes a really successful author. Her books are being turned into a TV show. The screenwriter for the TV show is him. Yeah, and if you didn't know that, now you do. In my humble opinion, I just did not like this one at all. I think the story setup to this is so rough, obviously, and it's really hard to kind of move past all of those things, all of that trauma, all of that resentment, it just doesn't work. It also kind of becomes like a friends with benefits situation that also didn't work. I didn't really like the characters. I didn't like the setup of this. There's not really any romance bits. There's like a family trauma, family thing going on that is never resolved. It's a weird ass romance book, and I personally just didn't like it, so I gave it 1 star. Anyways, moving on, the last book I read in January was The Women by Kristen Hanna. This one is about our main character, Frankie. She volunteers herself to be a nurse for the Vietnam War, and it's telling about her story like in Vietnam as a nurse, all these stressful situations that are happening to her, but also it is telling after she gets back from Vietnam War what her life looks like now as a vet. This book is so sad. There's so much happening in this book. It is so crazy. I do think this book is a teeny bit repetitive, and I do think like there's just so much that happens to her. I think sometimes this book kind of seems like she puts trauma in it to put trauma in it, if you catch my drift. But I will say it was still so good. I have never read a book about the Vietnam War, so it was very interesting to just read about. I did really like it. I ended up giving it 4 freaking stars. I don't know why I added freaking in that, but it just needed it, okay? Thank you so much for watching my January wrap up. I'll see ya in the next video, boo.